Hey friends, Chief Meteorologist Shane Smith here with you. It is a little before 10 o'clock on this Wednesday evening. I wanted to give you an update to the weather blog talking about the potential of snow. I know a lot of folks have been getting anxious about what we may see heading into Halloween night. So let's not waste any time explaining what's going on. We'll first start off with the GFS. It's got a pretty good idea of what's happening with this storm system. It's showing a low pressure and cold front diving in through the Ohio Valley during the day on Halloween. This is an unusually potent storm system for this time of year. What will happen is Friday, probably late morning, early afternoon, we'll see rain bust out across eastern Kentucky. Some of it may be heavy at times, gusty winds in excess of 30, 35 miles per hour. Outside of thunderstorms, maybe even a little bit stronger if we get a boomer or two going up. What's going to happen is that low pressure is going to intensify as it heads off to the south and the east. And as we go through the overnight from Halloween night into Saturday morning, the 1st of November, that low is really going to crank up. And that is going to pull a ton of cold air down from the north and also shift our wind out of the northwest. And those two things coming together really going to give us a decent chance of snow. You can see here on the GFS, Saturday, 6Z, that's 2 o'clock in the morning. It will be snowing across most of eastern Kentucky if this run is right. And at this point, most of the models are showing something similar to this. We will likely be seeing snow sometime late Friday night into Saturday morning before it changes back over to a bit of rain later in the day on Saturday. But we could see several hours of snow and maybe even some heavier snow up in the highest elevations. Let's just take a run through of some of the models to see what they're showing accumulation-wise. The Canadian model, really not too aggressive on the snow. It's showing less than an inch for most of us, with a little bit more, maybe 2 inches along the Virginia border. That sounds reasonable to me, especially up on those high peaks. Now, you have to remember, with any of these models we're looking at, this does not take melting into account, and we are going to melt a lot of this snow off as it hits the ground. The only places it really will likely stick are grassy surfaces, some of the rooftops, and elevated surfaces. I think the roads will be fine, especially since we had temperatures earlier this week into the 80s. European model putting down around 2 or 3 inches in some of the higher elevations, and the GFS model is in between the two, showing a little in the higher elevations of Pike, Letcher, and Harlan counties, about 2 to 3 inches there, with an inch or less pretty much everywhere else. And once again, folks, I do not think this is going to be a big deal snow. This will likely start as rain, transition over to snow. I doubt the roads are going to get slick because of it, but we may wake up Saturday morning, especially in those higher elevations, and have a bit of accumulation on the ground. I made a map earlier for the 6 o'clock newscast. We're going to show it again tonight at 11, but just talking about the snow chances. And the areas I've highlighted in white, down in the panhandle of Virginia, Harlan County, Letcher County, southern Pike County, southern Knott and Floyd County, southern Perry and Leslie, that is going to be the best area for potential snowfall. And we will likely start off with rain there and change over to snow sometime after 8, 9 o'clock. Maybe closer to 10 o'clock. It just depends on how fast that cold air comes crashing in. Off to the north and west, pretty much the rest of our coverage area, I've highlighted in a purple shade. I'm expecting a wintry mix. We'll see a lot of rain early in the day. I don't know if we'll go over to all snow in this location, maybe for a brief period early Saturday morning before temperatures start rising again after sunrise, and then we should go back over to a wintry mix. Areas in the purple, if you see accumulation, consider yourself lucky. We may get a coating to a dusting, maybe an inch in some locations, especially closer to the south and the east you go near the Virginia border. Those areas may have a chance at an inch, but it's going to be an outside chance, and that's just given how things are looking right now. But there along the Kentucky-Virginia border in the mountaintops, would not surprise me if Black Mountain, Pine Mountain, those high ridge tops, maybe pick up 2 to 4 inches of snow out of this. If it comes down heavy enough, and those higher elevations, it's certainly possible. Now, Harlan, would you see 2 to 4 inches? No, maybe an inch or two. Most of the cities up in those mountains, down in the valleys between the mountains, probably won't see that much. So is it something to note? Definitely. First snow of the season, and I know a lot of folks get excited about snow. I used to get a lot more excited than I do now. Don't quite enjoy it as much as I used to. Now I'm a little older and have to get out and work in it. But overall, it's something fun to track, and it's something we'll be talking about the next couple of days. Still some variance that could happen in the forecast. This is a very strong system, and it may end up surprising some folks. But we'll just have to wait and see about that. Keep checking back in for more updates, and we'll have a full forecast coming up for you on Mountain News at 11. And then Brandon Robinson will be back in tomorrow with Mountain News This Morning.